Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we're talking about Married at First Sight today, season 15, episode 10. We're over halfway through the season. It's been a quick season. It feels like it's been quicker than past seasons, but we're halfway through the season. So we're just going to get right into it. This episode was when the couples, all five couples, celebrated their 1 month anniversary. Because 1 month later, we're going to have decision day. So today, this episode is a celebration of the 1 months. So just get right into it. I'm going to keep couples brief because there's one couple I really want to discuss for a while. So we're just going to get started. I'm going to start with Lindy and Miguel. So once again, we didn't see much of them in this episode. They celebrated their 1 month. They went to this nice little yacht place and, just talked about their month and stuff, Lindy is saying that, this is the healthiest relationship that she's ever been in. Miguel saying, everything is just going really natural, which is good. So that's good. I still think they're right in the middle. Nothing exciting is happening, good or bad. They're just staying really, really neutral, is what I think. They got into just like a little discussion about Lindy's fiery side, and Miguel was saying, I seen Lindy get fiery, and Lindy was like, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. That was nothing compared to what I can do. You have not seen me go crazy. So they got a little heated about that, but that was no big deal. When they celebrated their 1 month, Miguel was a little frustrated with Lindy. She was making little snarky comments about their wedding and stuff and everything. It kind of irritated Miguel, but it was really no big deal. So yeah, Lindy and Miguel, not about. Like I said, they're staying right in the middle. I don't know why they're not getting more airtime right now, but they seem to be doing okay, so that's good. Next I want to talk is Kristin and Mitch. So Kristin and Mitch, so they left town. They left San Diego and went to this little unique place to do yoga for their 1 month anniversary. We first in the episode seen Kristin meet up with one of her friends to discuss the marriage and everything, and she was saying, marriage is everything that she's enjoying the marriage, but she's not. It seems like she's enjoying just the fact of being married. She's not it doesn't seem like she's fully enjoying being with Mitch. And that kind of concerns me a little bit. I think she's just loving the fact that she's being married, but not in love with Mitch. She had mentioned that to her friend and stuff. I mean, it didn't come out that way, but that's what is getting out with me. Because, Kristin is still, a little uptight because of Mitch. Mitch is he's a little high maintenance when it comes to his environmental things. So, she met up with her friend there, and then they had their 1 month. They celebrated their 1 month. They reread their vows and stuff and saw their pictures and saw when Mitch had the patch on the Band-Aid on his head and stuff, and, they had a nice little moment and stuff, and they went to yoga, did some yoga, and, it just felt really cool for them. So, it was a little nice for them to reflect on that. I'll get back to them in a minute, though. The next couple I want to talk is Alexis and Justin. So, Alexis and Justin, it's been trouble in Paris. It's been up and down. They're actually getting my blood pressure up because 1 minute they're good, then the next minute they're fighting, then they good. I just cannot get a good feel about them, I still think Alexis is not fully over the situation with the dog. And her and Justin are trying to get something going, trying to get back into the groove of things, but it's just always something. But they celebrated their 1 month. They got a collage and reread their vows and stuff. It was cute, but Alexis did mention, though, if this was a regular relationship, she probably would have broken off by now. And that saddens me because, You know, because, I mean, is it really that bad? I mean, Justin is very, very sensitive. And there ain't nothing wrong with a man being sensitive. He's, good looking guy, tall, just wants to be loved like the rest of us. I have no problems with the man being that sensitive. He's very sensitive. But, there has to come when it comes to your wife, the wife is always going to want like that masculine feel, wants that man to be protected and stuff. So, I think that's where they're standing right now. I think that they are not, me personally, I don't think they'll make it to past decision day. It's just my opinion, but yeah, I'll get back to them in a minute. Next up I want to talk is Sasha and Nate. So Sasha and Nate, they did a big 180 when we went to from last week. Last week Nate had mentioned, they're only at a 4 out of 10. And Sasha is, I don't feel like Sasha's not feeling secure with Nate. And so this episode, though, they celebrated their 1 month, and it was all sunshine and roses, and then they went out on a little date and stuff, and everything. And to my surprise, Nate confesses that he is fallen in love with Sasha. And Sasha was just like, what? Wait, what? Are you serious? He's like, yeah, why are you acting so surprised? Like, I just wasn't expecting that. And last week I was at a 4, and where am I now at 9? He said, we're at an 8 now. So, I don't know what flipped the script on this one, but, Sasha and Nate just did a big 180. Now, you do remember in the beginning of the season when they were on their honeymoon, Sasha mentioned they wanted this... mention a post-nup. They actually, in this episode, and Nate agreed to it. So in this episode, Sasha and Nate actually went to the lawyer's office and signed a post-nup. So, so Sasha is feeling like really secure with Nate. They actually even also got tattoos. They actually even got matching tattoos on their hands and stuff. So, I think once you get tattoos, like, you're locked in. So at this point, you better stay. I hope they stay married when it comes to decision day. So, yeah, Sasha and Nate getting tattoos, signing the post-nup, confessing that they're in love with each other, big 180. And I said from the beginning, they were my favorite couple, and they proved that in this episode. So I still think they got a lot of work to do, and there's still a lot of season left. But as of right now, Sasha and Nate are gradually getting back up there. Now, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Morgan and Ben. Morgan and Ben. So last week, we left on a cliffhanger with Morgan talking about how, like, Ben is, like, I heard everything Alexis told me everything. And Ben was just like, what's going on? And everything. Now, Ben has a track record of going to his boy Justin all the time about him and Morgan's problems and stuff. So now, and after the honeymoon incident when he said that Morgan doesn't have a degree yet and everything, and that built a lot of walls up for Morgan, and now she's just trying to get that trust back. And then as soon as she starts to get it back, another incident happens. So, Morgan first, meets up with one of her friends to say, I'm tired of him going to Justin with all of our problems, like, and everything. And then she went to this, like, boxing ring just to let some steam and do some boxing. And it's just like, Ben does not have any idea what he's getting himself into. So, for their 1 month anniversary, they were supposed to meet back at their wedding venue and everything to reconnect and everything. So they do meet there, but Ben's all dressed up. He has flowers in his hand and everything. And here comes Morgan. He comes out and gives Morgan the flowers. Morgan says thank you, and then just lets him go and lets him fall to the ground. Like, thanks. Now, that right there, I feel like the timing was off with that one, because, I don't know, if my wife did that to me, whether she's mad at me or not, like on an anniversary date, like, wife or girlfriend or anybody does that to me on a special day, like, I would be furious. Now, I get why Morgan's upset, but then I wouldn't have done that. Now, I thought, in this situation, I couldn't pick a team because I understand why Morgan's upset, but she shouldn't have let the flowers go like that. That's just my opinion. So now Morgan's upset because apparently, now this is also a little petty, but okay, like, I guess Ben had told, like, Justin or something that, Morgan's lying about her family being perfect, her and her family being perfect, something along the lines of that. It was something, again, pretty petty, but, it's, when I heard the word perfect, I was just like, come on now. Ain't nobody perfect but God. So that should have just ended that right there. But nonetheless, Morgan is just still irritated about Ben going to Justin for her problems. And they showed some deleted scenes about a phone call that was leaked. So after Morgan left the apartment after last week's episode, Ben actually goes to Alexis and Justin's apartment, and Alexis had told Morgan that, you might need to call your husband. Your husband's here at my house, at my apartment with Justin, and they talking about you and stuff. So now, Alexis is kind of being a little bit of a snitch, but, she's just, like, looking out for her friend, just like Ben is looking after Justin's looking after Ben and stuff, but, Alexis had told Morgan that, so there was a phone call that they showed that Ben was sitting at a table with Alexis and Justin, and Morgan was screaming at Ben, "Why are you at Alexis and Justin's house? Get out of there now. You need to be talking to me and not them. No offense, Alexis and Justin." And Alexis is like, "Yeah, no, you're right. He needs to be talking to his wife." So there was no problems there. But, so, after that, when they meet to the wedding venue, Morgan was just like, "You done nothing but lie. You done nothing but lie. You told me you would never do that again, and you're doing it." And Ben was just, like, starstruck. He was just like, he looked like a deer in the headlights. He's just like, what did I do? And he's like, "You better own up to this, because you are not the husband that I wanted or the husband that I needed," she was saying. Like, this is not what a husband does, and everything. And she was like, "I am tired of, I can't trust you. Like, you're supposed to be my husband, and I can't trust you," basically. And Morgan's like, "This is your final chance. I'm actually going to stay into this marriage to do this with you, but you're going to be with me every freaking day to really, really prove, to see how much you hurt me and everything. You're going to be here with me all the time and everything." So they sat down to talk about it. Morgan was just, like Ben is just like, "I'm sorry." It's just instant reaction and everything. And Morgan is just like, "But you better figure this out soon." And she left. And so, my opinion on that is, yes, Ben needs to really not get at Justin for his problems. And he also had said that he also had talked to Miguel a couple times about it too. Yeah, I agree, Justin and Ben are boys, and those are ride or die. I ain't questioning the loyalty of their friendship. That's great. But, like somebody like Morgan, and Morgan, Morgan is really, really, she's really, really picky as it is. And doing this kind of things, he's really going to lose her. I don't think they're going to make it to decision day. Because, Ben is really in love with Morgan. Morgan it seems like she just can't stand him. Now, I'm not, I was thinking last night, is she the villain of this season? Or is Mitch the villain of the season? I'm not going to call her a villain. She's not the villain. She's not like Alyssa from last season, that's for sure. But, she does want a lot of things and doesn't want a lot of things. And when stuff like this happens, she will look for an easy way out. And I'm really glad that she's staying with them. But, Ben needs to really, really prove himself. I want to be Team Ben, but, Morgan's right. Morgan's right. And that's not me playing favorites. But, and and I've been in, and it's hard being in that situation, because like, and they even mentioned the after party. Alexis was asked on the after party, like what happened, and Alexis, like, I think I said a little too much. I think if I would have handled that, I should have handled that a little bit better when she called me and stuff, or when I called her and stuff. But she also mentioned, when you're in the mass, if you're talking to other people in the Married at First Sight community, it's going to get back to them quick, other than you're talking to your family and friends about it. Now, if Ben wanted to really talk about this to somebody, he should have been talking to his family and friends, not to Justin, because Alexis is right, because it will get back quicker when it does that. So yeah, that was Morgan and Ben. So late in the episode, they all the couples meet up to go on this like little trip. They got on this party bus and on this trip. The only couple that didn't make it was Morgan and Ben. Like, everybody was at the stop waiting on them. They're like, they're not coming. And like, no surprise. So they all get on the bus. They have fun on the bus and go to where they got to go. And then here's the dinner scene. The infamous dinner scene. So every season on Married at First Sight, when they have, after the 1 month anniversary, they have like all the couples get together, go on a little trip and have dinner. And at dinner, there's always the awkward conversation that leads to a big fight. So, Sasha and Nate were talking about, like, how much, like, we're talking about this experience and what they're learning from this and what they're enjoying from this. Kristin and Mitch. Now, Kristin, she's saying she really likes Mitch and everything, but, Kristin had mentioned that she's, like, compromising a little bit too much. And she feels like that, when does Kristin get to be happy? When does Kristin get to have a full say in things and everything? And she was making mention of that, and that was her only concern about that. Then Mitch said, Kristin, if you need to like flip out on me, go ahead and do it. Like, sometimes I need that. I need somebody to put me in my place at times. And he had mentioned that to her on her honeymoon. So, Kristin just wants to be, she's doing everything she can to please her husband, but she wants to be happy herself, and I can't fault her for that. And after that conversation, Justin told Mitch, Mitch, I've been seeing a big improvement from you over the past couple of weeks. Like, you've grown a lot from the beginning and stuff, and I can respect that. Well, when he said that, I don't know why, but Alexis got really, really uptight and offended by that. So everybody came over to Alexis, and Justin's like, "Oh, what about you guys? How you guys feeling?" And Alexis was like, "I don't want to talk." And they were just like, "Okay, you don't have to talk if you don't want to. It's okay." And then, but Justin was poking the bear. He was just like, "Why don't you want to talk? Like, I feel like, everybody's selling what we're doing. Like, let's sell what we're doing and stuff." And, Alexis is saying, I don't feel like Justin is like, I'm not like, they're on two different pages. Justin thinks everything is going right, and Alexis thinks everything is going wrong. And that was their discussion, so Justin kept on whispering in the air, like, "Baby, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Like, let's just talk." Like, so Alexis got mad. She was just like, "Okay, since my husband keeps asking me," she was just saying, "I don't really feel it like he does." And everything, like, there's not good communication. It just ended up being a big blowout. And it got to the point where they both got up and left, and Sasha had to go after Alexis to calm her down. They just started crying. And I just don't know how it took that turn, but I think, like, maybe she feels like Justin is like too involved in everybody else's and not much of theirs. So that I think that's really what it is. But nonetheless, that scene did not end well. So, And on After Party, it was, as I mentioned, Morgan and Ben didn't go on that trip. Keisha and I pull him, asked Alexis why they didn't go, but Alexis just like, I can't tell you. You know, I learned my lesson the last time. You know, they just needed some time after their little argument, or their 1 month. So I was kind of sad. I think that Morgan and Ben should have gone on that trip. They could have not said anything, you know, but, you know, we'll see what happens next week. So yeah, that was this episode of Married at First Sight. They celebrated their 1 month. We got another month left before Decision Day. So I'm going to predict there's like 6 or 7 more episodes left of the season. We should be done by like late October, early November and stuff. And yeah, I mean, overall, so far this season, you know, of course, there's going to be ups and downs, but, you know, this is a more friendlier cast. And I say this on every episode. This is a more of a friendly cast. They really, really are invested in each other's marriages, which is good to an extent. But some are doing it a little bit too invested. So, and it's causing risks in their own marriages. But, you know, this is, I think, like in this process, I think this is like the most supportive cast that I've seen so far, which is great. So, you know, I really want all of these couples to stay married. I know that's not going to happen. So, but it's been a really friendly season, and I've been enjoying this season. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on Sunday to do 90 Day Fiancé, and Monday to do Sunday for Happily Ever After, and Monday for the Single Life. So, Single Life is starting. I can't wait for that. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.